The major reasons keeping people indoors is so they can set up the digital sites for the 5G. That's one of the reasons.
Ah, really? And I thought that they've been tracking us all this while. In fact, next time you go to apply for visa at the American embassy or the British embassy or the Chinese, when they say we need your fingerprint, run. If you place your thumb on that pad, they will capture your DNA. And they also use nanotechnology to implant biometric digital identification chips inside you. Once you do that, I tell you, don't even keep your passport without your visa in your bedroom. That visa on your passport has chips that can listen to conversations in your home and track all your movements. Some, I was told, can take pictures even in the dark using microwaves. Nonsense. What has gotten into us Africans? Who do we think we are that they are planning to wipe us out? More importantly, if they want to wipe us out, do you think that they need 5G to do that? They will just use Hennessy and imported red wine that you drink every day. Do you think they need to tell us to stay at home so that they will lay down the pipeline, the wires of the 5G on our streets? Come on, people. When you hear them say that this is the 21st century, what do you think they are saying? What do you think they mean? They mean that in 21st century, you don't know how much you need to know before you know how little you know. Sasha! Tweet that out! Wait. Okay. Let's go back to Pastor Chris and hear him. Pastor Chris.
Everyone will have a permanent number. This time, not the number in your passport. You don't need your passport.
You don't need your passport anymore? I thought we knew that. I'm sure Pastor Chris does not know how many satellites are flying all over Africa as we speak. He doesn't know. He does not know how many submarines are hidden inside Atlantic Ocean all around West Africa. He doesn't know. What about drones that fly in and out of Africa? Pastor Chris does not know that some drones are so small, so tiny, that if he sees 3 of them by his bedroom window, he will think that they're house flies. Look at them. I'd wanted to be angry, when I talk about this. But I can't be angry with my people. I can't. It is not their fault. It's the fault of people like this. Hey! Liquid Metal himself throwing hard currency at the people. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is the new world. The new world order. Where was I? We have rejected things our forefathers used to sustain themselves. We call them evil, We have embraced in totality things other people brought to us. All of a sudden, we're waking up to say, we don't want this. Why? Because it is dangerous. How did we know? What research institute in Africa that is not dependent on funding from the same people that we said are killing us found out the danger? What PhD holders in Africa are at the cutting edge of scientific research that discovered this danger? Where are they? Wait. Scores of our people are dying every day from kidney problems. Do we know what is causing it? No. Do we know if it is in the fruit juice that we drink, or the noodles that we eat, or the fake drugs that pour into Nigerian and African markets? We don't know. But it is too small, too local for Dino Melay or Pastor Chris to research. It is even too minor for Dino and Chris to start building chains of dialysis centers in each local government in Nigeria to make sure that people who have the disease get help. But when it comes to 5G, we have figured it out. We know that spectrum waves minus radio frequency radiation times 2 plus constant S is equal virus called COVID-19. We know it because we have done the research now. We know it because that S, that constant S, stands for stupidity. Don't get me wrong. I know, I'm not naive. I know there are some white people who look down on black people as below human beings.
Faire cette étude en Afrique où il n'y a pas de masque, pas de traitement, pas de réanimation, un peu comme c'est fait d'ailleurs pour certaines études dans le sida, où chez les prostituées on essaye des choses parce qu'on sait qu'elles sont hautement exposées et elles ne se protègent pas. Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez ?
Alors vous avez raison, et d'ailleurs on est en train de réfléchir en parallèle à une étude en Afrique justement pour faire ce même type d'approche avec le BCG, un placebo. Je pense qu'il y a un appel d'offres qui est sorti, il va sortir, et je pense qu'on va en effet sérieusement réfléchir à ça aussi.
These are two French doctors who came on French TV to say that Africans should be used to test the new coronavirus vaccine. Oh yeah, the same French people who on January 13th, 1960, tested their first nuclear weapon in Algeria's Sahara Desert. It doesn't matter that the World Health Organization called that conversation between the two French doctors racist. It doesn't matter. What matters is that people like those are not the majority in the world. And they are not running the world and hoping to wipe Africans away. Now, if they wipe Africans out, who will bring stolen money to hide in their banks? Who? Who will come to their countries to buy almost 500 brand new Camry 2020 when their country of 200 million people have less than 400 ventilators? If they wipe out Africans, where can they find people who will buy more phantoms than the number of fire trucks in their countries? Where? Only in Africa. Come back, man.
This post was updated on March 26 to clarify that the program is intended to allow people to receive vaccination and prove they have received it, not to track individuals. That's a lie. It is to track individuals.
Now, Pastor Chris did not read the part that said that the website was updated because conspiracy theorists like him were using the content of the site to support their craziness. He didn't read that part. You don't need to know that part. By the way, I thought at this point that we all know that they are tracking everything we're doing with the gadgets we have now. They don't need new gadgets. You see, when the train was invented in 1825, Pastor Chris Oyahkilome's great-great-grandfather was a palm wine tapper. People like Chris then were scared that human beings were not made to move at 30 miles per hour. They feared that human beings will melt at that speed. Go and read it up. When the phone was invented in 1867, Pastor Chris Oyahkilome's great-grandfather was still a palm wine tapper. People like Pastor Chris were screaming. They were scared that people would be shocked if they touched the telephone box. In Sweden, preachers like Pastor Chris screamed that the telephone was an instrument of the devil, that through it the devil will invade the world. Now, none of them envisaged that in 2018, a pastor in South Africa will use the telephone to speak directly with God. They didn't see that.
Is this heaven? Yeah! Is it heaven? Yeah! What else, Papa God? What else, Papa God? God is telling me to ask you, why is it he's showing me a heart?
Is that heaven? Heaven. What happened in Akure or Owo Road? Heaven, do you know? God, Anyway, when the television was invented in 1927, Pastor Chris Oyahkilome's grandfather was still a palm tapper. People like Pastor Chris were scared that women would just sit at home and be watching TV while their children would die of starvation. You see, each time a new novel invention comes up, we hear people screaming that the world was coming to an end. At the end, nothing happens. The same thing that has always killed and continues to kill we Africans. It's still the same thing killing us. It is bad leadership, which breeds ignorance. And ignorance leads to, how do I put this mildly, stupidity. Just to make it clear, I know that some new technologies could be dangerous, but I trust that the people who make them have systems in place to fix them if they hurt humans. If we care so much about dangers of new technologies, we either make our own or set up research institutes to study them. Now, reading conspiracy websites is not a substitute for research. I'm just saying. Just saying for you, Chris and Dino. And by the way, here is where the world is going. Bring Professor Miko Kaku.
Next organ to be digitized is the brain. You may not know this, but 2 years ago, scientists were able to upload the first memories. Memories can now be uploaded and downloaded. This makes possible BrainNet. BrainNet could be the next step in the evolution of the internet.
You see, and for you, if you need replacement of body parts, if you need it to be made in the lab, like you need a new kidney or new arm or new eyes or new legs, here is what is coming.
And then biotech is being digitized now. We can create a human body shop. We can create from your own cells, so there's no rejection mechanism. We can create skin, bone, cartilage, noses, ears, blood vessels, heart valves, bladders, complete.
Yeah, guess what? Just like you bought iPhone 11 and you plan to buy iPhone 19. If you live long enough, you will get one of those digital biometric chips in you. Did you say to Fiako? Yeah, you don't want it. Okay. This is what you can do. If you don't want it, you can tell the world to stop so that you jump out. You know what I mean? You don't even, you are not even safe if you go stop wearing suits, Italian suits, and stop flying all over the world, and just stay in your village to be a palm wine tapper. You're not even safe. Africans, who did this to us? You see, I pray that Pastor Chris will live long enough to use 5G, 6G, and 7G. He may be surprised how fast 7G will be in helping him to go directly into the bank account of his church members and take 10% on the 29th of every month. No more people shortchanging God. No more. 7G will deliver that. Nonsense. One more thing about Bill Gates and the New World Order. So the other day, Bill Gates was asked on The Daily Show if he invented the coronavirus or how he knew about the coronavirus coming, if not that he was part of the New World Order. He was hoping that governments would take steps to prepare the world for the coming virus. I say, liar, pants on fire. As if he is not the government running the world. In America, in Nigeria, in Kenya, in 2000. I saw him. He was giving the independence speech in Kenya, in Nigeria. Wasn't he not the government? 2 weeks after President Trump took over as president, Dr. Fauci, who had served 5 US presidents as the head of the National Institute for Allergy and Infectious Diseases, said this in a speech in Washington. Watch.
That there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak, and I hope...
Shh! he must be part of the plan. Forget it. With Bill Gates, he must be part of the plan. Nonsense. Imagine if Bill Gates closes down the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and retires in Seattle, Washington, to enjoy his money. He could do that. What do you think will happen to all the things that the foundation is supporting in Africa? What do you think? What am I saying? We don't need him. Let him go and sit down. We have Dangote. Dangote's foundation will support research in our universities, improve the health and nutrition of Amajeris. Oh yeah, work with Africans to prevent diseases, improve sanitation, water supply and agriculture. Oh yes, Dangote, yes. Dangote Foundation will do all those things after they pay compensation for the people that his trucks kill every day all over Nigeria. I'm sure it's more than the number of people that coronavirus will ever kill in Nigeria. Nonsense. Here is my concern for today. It's taken from page 419 of the book Flight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. And it says, only after disaster can we be resurrected. Only after disaster can we be resurrected. We're off next week for Easter break. Happy Easter to all of you. May our common sense resurrect from this graveyard of conspiracy. Hey, Sasha, do your job. Until next week, I'm Dr. Damages. I diagnose.
You heal yourself.
No. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your vacation, and we will see you when we come back. Subscribe now, please. Thank you. All right.